Hey everybody, it's the Black Campanadilla. I'm coming at you with this deck profile that has been long overdue. And I got my nephew as the cameraman who's just being a little angel, just helping me out. Once the video's over, he'll probably just say hi. He probably won't be near the camera because he's just a bit camera shy, but again, Harrison, thank you so much. You're a lovely nephew, and I wouldn't have anybody else doing this. Thank you so much. But now, to get this out of the way, let's get the deck profile started. Alright, first off, we're going to start with 3 copies of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, right here. He is going to be the heart and soul of the deck. Now with Link Monsters out, which, granted, they've been out for like, only God knows how long, he can still do a bit of damage. He can swing over as many monsters as you want, Book of Eclipse an entire field by just paying, not even his costs, activating his effect, blowing up any card from hand or field in order to trigger it. A lot of people have been complaining about this guy, but I think he is perfectly fine, and he's going to be here to stay. Next, we got 2 copies of Overtext Coatless. Some people prefer to run them at 1, some others prefer to run it at 2. As you can see, I'm the person who prefers to run it at 2. You can send him to the grave, search the pill, or if you're like mid to late game, you can use his original summoning condition, shuffle 5 banished dinos back from the banished zone to the deck, bust them out, and now you've got your pieces recovered in order to continue off your plays. Alright, now moving on to the next guy. We have 3 copies of Soul Eating Oviraptor. He is the heart, well, granted, yeah. He's the Stratos of the deck. The moment he hits the field, whether it be by normal or special summon, he can add any dinosaur from deck to hand or send any dinosaur from deck to graveyard. Sending this or searching this. And he can also search himself, so that's also a really nice touch. Next, you got Baby Ceratosaurus. He's very good, because when he dies by card effect, you can special summon him, which allows you to get off your combos. You can blow him up with his effect, that negates spells and traps, and with Conductor's effect, which is the giant Book of Eclipse. Now, if you're one-ofs, you got Miscellaneousaurus, Dracuolo, and Giant Rex. Aolo is kind of iffy, but, I mean, he works for me. You can banish Miscellaneousaurus and summon the tuner straight out your deck. Miscellaneousaurus has the protection effect. It only works during the main phase, but that's perfectly fine. And Giant Rex, anytime he gets banished, he just comes back straight to the field, which gives you more pieces to combo off with. And now for the Lair of Darkness engine. 2 copies of Arima, 2 copies of Lilith, and 1 copy of Diablos. This ratio works perfectly fine because they have presence in the deck, but they're not taking up too much space. And another thing that I've managed to, one thing you've probably noticed is that in the previous video, I had an Armageddon Knight, but in this one, I don't. I took him out because, sure, it's like another way to get Overtext Quaddles in the grave, same with him, but after a bunch of testing, he's not necessarily bricky, but I mean, he's way, and I mean way too susceptible. Sure, and while he is a double evolution pill target, in most scenarios, I'd rather just use Soul Eating Oviraptor to search the pill. And that goes for the monsters. Now, for the spell lineup, we got 3 Lost World and 2 Lair of Darkness. In the previous one, I had like only 2 Lost Worlds, but I decided to bump it up to 3. Because the whole token spawning effect is very good against Sky Striker, because you can place a token on their side of the field and disrupt them, preventing them from activating a single one of their spell cards. And even then, let's say you happen to have a token thanks to Lair of Darkness, but you have Lost World on field. thanks to Lost World's effect, the only thing that they can target is the token. So if they try to use Afterburner or they try to use Widow Anchor, it can only target the token, keeping the rest of your guys safe and sound. 2 copies of Terraforming to search out your field spells. And you already got Arima, so you're practically guaranteed to get Lost World. Lair of Darkness. Wrong field spell. Right. 2 double evolution pill. Should be self-explanatory. Banish a dino and a non-dino target, and summon any level 7 or higher dino, ignoring their summoning conditions. Triple Fossil Dig. He searches your soul-eating Oviraptor, making it easier to bust out your plays. 2 Twin Twisters, because this deck hates back row with a burning passion. 1 Dark Hole, just to deal with any problematic monsters. And Monster Gate to combo off with Lair of Darkness. And just to have a little bit of extra spot removal. And that goes for the spells. Now for the traps. Triple Survival's End and triple Compulsory Evacuation Device. As I was testing out which cards or which traps specifically I wanted to add in this new profile, Survival's End came up to mind. Because Lost World busts out tokens, and Lair of Darkness, believe it or not, a lot of the times ends up leaving me with plenty of tokens on the field. And let's say like I have about 2 or 3. I activate Survival's End, blow them both up. Excuse me. I play a Soul-Eating Oviraptor and a Baby Ceratosaurus. I search with that, and since Survival's End is in my grave, I can blow up the baby I spawned with that to blow up any other card on the field, and then combo off from there. And Compulsory Activation Device is just a beautiful card to have. Like, if you play Bagushka and it's going to run out of materials, you can just bounce it back and play it the next turn. I actually did it to a friend of mine, and he was so salty afterwards. Alright, that's it for the main deck. Now, let's get to the extra deck. 1 copy of Castell. 1 copy of Gaga Cowboy for just in case if you need to go in time. 1 Evil Zordolka. 2 copies of Lagia. 2 copies of Ragna Zero in order to take advantage of Lost World. Bagushka, as I mentioned not so long ago. Black Rose Dragon. Trish. Nightmare Phoenix. Proxy Dragon. Space Installator. Underclock Taker. And last but not least, Triple Burst Dragon. And that is it for the extra deck. Now let us get to the side deck. Three copies of Anti-Spell if you happen to go up against Sky Striker or Pendulum Magician or just any problematic deck for the most part. 3 Torrential Tribute, searchable by Lilith, and frankly, just a good card to have. 3 Light Force Sword, a personal tech that I was testing online, and the results are a lot better than you'd expect. Triple Call to the Grave. This deck, in addition to hating back row, severely hates hand traps with a burning passion. Last but not least, Mistaken Arrest. For those people who can't necessarily afford Droll and Lockbird, it's almost the same thing except slightly weaker, but it'll still get the job done. And that right there is the deck profile. If y'all enjoyed what I happened to bring to you today, leave a comment down below, comment, subscribe, and check me out on my Instagram page at The Black Empanadia. And frankly, I apologize for not posting as frequently as I do. I'm kind of new to the YouTube thing, and I don't necessarily have all the gear that I need. And half the time, I'm just missing like a cameraman, because that's about all I really need, because I have plenty of content for y'all. But enough about that. Thank you so much for joining me, and we will see you next time. This is the Black Campanadilla, signing out.